Hey, good morning. Good morning. Nice.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
How's everyone doing today? Good?
Good,
Pretty
good.
good.
Good. I'm
Mhm.
ready to have some fun. I hope you are too. All right. Yeah, we got some good things going today. I want to start with the new song that we're going to do and then review Moon River at the end. And the reason is because I don't want you to get shortchanged on the new material we're going to do. And it's a really fun song and it's not a hard song. Um, but we are going to work on some setups. So I'd like to start with that. The song is The Glory of Love. That's from Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. There's another movie I'm going to have to watch. So, but it's a great tune. And I'm following this created arrangement. I'm following in the same format as I kind of did with Moon River, meaning there's always
5028
oh
at
hold on there. I don't think
fletchermusic.com.
so.
That's my email here.
There we go. Um, I've heard two distinctively different versions of this song. One is with a beat and one is not. One is played quite slowly and reverently, I guess I would say. So I followed in the same format that I had done in with Moon River, in that we're going to start the first time of the song and we're just going to play line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. That's the first section of That's the Glory of Love is where it finishes. And I put in a double bar line there and a repeat sign because once we've played that one time, we're going to go back up and start over with rhythm. But the first time I have no rhythm, and I use the Lush category setups, and I used Lush 7. When I get to add the rhythm, then I'm working with rhythm presets, and I will tell you what I did. I actually made 4 or 5 setups. So just so that I wouldn't have to push a lot of buttons, because we're going to add something to the bass. We're going to change the bass in this song and add a sound in that. And then we're going to add something to the lower sound button or lower genius, if that happens to be what yours is called. That's a tab for the A series people. And so um, we'll be moving around. So it's really, I say it, sometimes I think you don't believe it, but once you have your instrument set up with everything you want on it, then there's no trick to this. All you do is once you have everything where you want it, you touch memorize. And what I did is A1, go up to the screen. It says with transpose, with style, and the pane in the window says no, and you touch the no and it turns to yes, both of them, and then go back and turn the memorize light out, and that's it. Then you never have to set that particular sound setup again because you've memorized it. So it's I'm trying to convince you, I hope, most or all of you eventually, that this is not a difficult thing to do. Now, I didn't say anything about going to the next step of putting it on a USB. That's another step, and we can talk about that later. But let's just get it in the bank first and make it easy on yourself. So I'm going to call up my setups because I actually loaded in Moon River first, thinking we were going to review, and then I said, "Oh, I shouldn't do that because I don't want to cut you short on this one." So we'll come to Moon River at the end, but let me get here. So, and if you're curious, on my one USB stick, I have 102 setups because I only set up things up once. I don't want to do it twice. Takes too long. So I'm going to play it for you first. see if I can get it. I had an issue and I'm not sure why, and I'll put it out there to you. I don't have to tell you this, but I think I figured it out, but it was kind of interesting. I was changing the bass to auto bass 2 once the rhythm comes in and locking it, and I had the accompaniment locked, but auto bass 2 wasn't locking for whatever reason. It wasn't staying around. So I figured it out. It is locked now. It's there, but it was interesting. I was messing around, telling myself this morning, why isn't this working? But anyway, it's working. But here's what I did learn that I probably was aware of, but it wasn't in the forefront of my mind. If you use auto bass 2 and you're playing chords in an inversion, you're playing full chords in an inversion, it will not read the bass note that you want, okay? It'll read what you give it. If you're playing auto bass 1, you can be playing anywhere and it'll give you the correct bass. So that's just a little FYI for you, that I don't know if I hadn't done that before and found that out, but auto bass 1 will lock in the correct bass for the chord. Auto bass 2 will read, if you're playing your chords and you're on auto bass 2, it's going to read whatever you put it at. And so, for instance, if I play a G chord and I play G, C, E, auto bass 2 will read it with a G in the bass, not a C. So I didn't want that. So my first setup is going to be auto bass 1. And then my second setup will be auto bass 2. And I have 5 setups. And like I said, please be assured, if you haven't done this before, once you choose your sound and you do everything you want to do, just take one more step, memorize A and the next number that you need, and yes, yes in the screen, turn off the memorize, and now you've got it forever. Now you can have some fun, because I know that people will tell me, I just want to play. I don't want to do a lot of stuff. Well, we don't do a lot of stuff. We do it one time, and then we're good to go. So let me play The Glory of Love for you. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a really cute, fun, nice tune that I think you'll see the pattern of building an arrangement following this type of format, although there are many, many other types as well. You ready? Here we go.
Good.
Well, I'm
Good.
good.
It's what? Oh yeah,
That was
everybody.
good.
I had to unmute. I had to unmute to clap. So anyway,
Okay, there you go. Everybody's can speak now. So you can hear that I did stuff with it, but you know, you watched me. I only pushed one button. I was only pushing. I went 5 in a row. It's very, very easy for me. The work I did, I chose my sounds and then memorized it, and there I was. So very nice. It's really a fun song. It's a catchy little tune. To me, it's a happy song. So I hope that you're going to feel that way when you play it too. It's a happy song. So let me tell you what I've done. So I started with no rhythm, easy button, memory, and MCS. Auto bass 1. Okay. On the lower keyboard with your chords, I want 2 strings, and you can use strings or vocal on the lower sounds button or lower genius tab, which is right here that I'm pointing to, if you can see that. Okay. Okay. So I went down to That's the Glory of Love, and I drew a bar line and I put in dots because I went that far to declare the song, and then I went back to the beginning. So that's not so bad for you. Now, when I went back to the beginning, here's what I did. I always work left to right. However, I work left to right starting when I'm going to alter things. I always turn on the rhythm first. Because if I work left to right and I set up other things prior to turning on the rhythm, when you turn on the rhythm, you'll lose it. You'll have to go back and do it again. So first thing I do is turn on my rhythm, and the rhythm is Society, which is very nice. It's a very nice sound background, I should say. And I went to my keypad, which is on your screen, and I went to numeric, and I touched number 1, and then I went over and touched lower genius or lower sound button. Okay, I went back to the keypad, touched number 1 again, and I went over and touched auto bass 2. So what I did was I put a piano in the bass because the background, let me turn off the intro here. And now you can really hear that piano in the background. It makes it a little bit crisp, and I think it's a nice sound. It's nice to hear something different than just having an electric bass, which majority of the auto basses are some kind of electric sound, and I like to be able to change that up. Has nothing to have to do with my playing ability, so you don't have to worry about that. You're just choosing a sound to put in the bass there. And we could have actually even doubled up again and put it in the pedal genius. I did not do that, and I actually turned the pedal genius off because it came on with this Society, but it's an electric deep bass, and I didn't want that, so I turned it off. I set my tempo. It comes on, I believe, at 112. I took it down to 105 because I didn't want you to feel rushed or pushed. And I started with rhythm preset sounds. Now, the first sound on the rhythm preset with the rhythm I chose was number 2. And I actually memorized it into A2. Just remember, when you use 1 or 2 in the rhythm presets, or in the style setups, as yours might be called, when you do that, it will turn off your ORC Plus. So once you activate that sound, turn on your ORC Plus before you go on. And then what I did I turned on my intro, of course, because this is the beginning of the song. And I went up to my locks and I locked my accompaniment. So everything that I did would stay there and I wouldn't have to mess with it later. Okay, so that's the beginning of the song. When I come through on the second phrase, so we got the first phrase. Now it's going to repeat. So I want a different sound. So I went ahead and picked up a different one that had a little piano and strings. Now we're getting into what's called the what? Somebody tell me.
The bridge.
Yes, the bridge.
Bridge.
That's right. So that automatically says do something, change your sound. So I did. I went to a George Shearing sound, which is in the rhythm setups. And now what? What am I returning to?
A.
It's going to go back to the theme, right? The beginning of it. So I want to change my sound one more time because I'm coming toward the end. And I did a tag ending. And one more time, because typically we do it 3 times. And on my very last note, when I was finished, I just played the notes of the G chord in my right hand. Can you see my right hand? I played the G, and then I added. You see that? Just gave it a little extra fun, pizzazz, maybe. Questions? No questions? Oh boy, good. I must be doing pretty good then.
I think
You did a walk down chord somewhere.
Yes, I'm coming.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning of the song now. You've got to give a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. And then we have that's the story on the word store, which is a B as in boy, right hand note. I played an E minor 7th. So we're playing a G chord in that measure, and then we're playing an E minor 7th. On the next measure, it starts with a D chord. I postponed the D chord and I played an A minor 7th first. And then on Glor of Glory, which is an A note, that's where I played my D as in dog 7. Okay? The first time I played the song, because I'm going to stop at that G and go back up to the beginning. So the first time I played it, there's a G chord, which I gave 2 beats. Then I played a C chord. Watch my hand. So on the 3rd beat, played C minor on the 4th beat, and then it went back to a G chord. There's no rhythm, so I can take as long as I want to do that.
Joanie, where did you place the C chord over the lyric A or the beginning of the word little?
Neither.
I'm sorry. Are you in the second measure?
I'm in the first phrase on my music. It's line 4. That's the story of love.
Oh gosh, I'm way out of. Okay.
So when I get to love, it's a G chord. Then I play a C, and then a C minor, and then a G, and now I'm going to go back up and start the song over again with rhythm.
Okay, G, C minor,
No, G,
C.
no.
uh,
G, C,
Uh-huh.
C minor,
Oh, there it goes. Okay,
and then G.
gotcha,
Okay.
gotcha.
Okay, let's go on to the next part. The lyrics are laugh a little, cry a little before the clouds. Over the word clouds, that's where I played the G7. So first I played a G chord, and then I added the seventh. And that's really nice. That's kind of fun because you'll hear the seventh. If you just play it right away, it's there, but it could get lost. But when you add it on the third beat, which is a D as in dog note, you'll hear that seventh come in, which is great.
Okay.
On line 2, we have buy a little. That's the story of. Above store, it's a B as in boy note. I played an E minor chord, just like I did in the beginning.
Right.
Next line, I'm sorry. There's a D chord. I played the A minor seventh first. And then on beat 3, which is an A note, that's where I played the D as in dog seventh. We finished that phrase, that's the glory of love. And when it's indicated to play G7, that's where I'm changing my sound.
Right.
And like I said, memorize it, because if you're having to look at the screen to see what setups you have available, it's going to take you too long. Beats are going to get away from you because your mind is trying to make a decision on what to choose. So choose it, write it in what it's going to be, and then memorize it so you don't have to think. I'm all about don't overthink. So if we go and continue in that phrase, this is the bridge. As long as there's the two of us, we've got the world and all. All is an E note. I played an F sharp chord. That's F sharp. It's a black key. It takes one finger. It should be your pointer finger because that normally sits on the F. Just go up to the right to the black key, F sharp. And then all its charms, I went back to my G chord. And then on the second or third beat, I played a G7. And now we continue on with the C minor going on. And when the world is through with us, then on those, there's a half rest for 2 beats. And I played a B as in boy chord, and then I played a B as in B flat. So we're just walking down to the A7 chord. Yay. Just makes it a little more exciting.
Joanie,
Yes.
yeah, could you repeat that last line on the second page again? I got lost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guess I'm not the only one,
The world and all, that's an E note.
right?
I played an F sharp chord.
Okay,
And then on the word charms, which is a D as in dog note, I played a G as in George chord. And in the same measure, I played a G7 chord.
you mean a right-hand G chord you're talking about? Or-
No, left hand, chord,
Oh, okay,
left hand.
okay.
So it's like this. Let me get rid of the intro here. There's it. That's it. Okay.
Joanie,
Mm-hmm.
were there any changes on line 4 that starts with a C chord?
No,
Okay.
no change. I was trying to be gentle. So when I go at the end of the song, that's the story of, that's the glory of love. I did the same chord I had added. Story, store is a B note. I added the E minor seventh. Then where they indicated D chord, I played A minor seventh first and then jumped to the word glor for glory. That's an A note. That's where I played the D as in dog seventh chord. And that's all I did. How easy is that?
Well, it is somewhat more simple than Moon River, so I appreciate that. So I appreciate that.
Well, Moon River, that was your challenging one, you know.
Woo! Yeah.
All right. So let's go through it again and then we'll see if we can finish up. And then maybe check into Moon River before we're finished. Here we go. One more. So just watch the music and then decide where you might have a question. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm fighting with my music here a little bit. Good place to fill. There, how's that?
Got it. Got it.
it?
Very good.
Good. It's really fun. It's really cute. I'm liking it a lot.
Joanie,
Yeah.
what did you do on the second page, last line, second measure? You did something different other than just the chord, GG7. You did something in your right hand.
This would be preset 3. No, I played G,
No?
G major 7th, and then I played G7.
Okay.
My fingers did that. That's why I didn't. My fingers just automatically played a G major 7th before the 7th. Sometimes that
I wish
happens.
mine would automatically do things.
What's preset 4,
No.
Joe?
4 is
Huh?
the George Shearing sound.
Oh, what was number 3 then? I had that.
3 is a AOC piano and string. Those come on with the style setup or rhythm preset, depending on what yours is called. But they're the same thing, remember. They're not different, so don't get confused.
AOC, and what else did you turn on?
It's built into the preset. It says AOC piano and string.
Oh, okay.
So it adds a string. So we're adding a little bit at a time, not a whole lot, but gradually until we get to the bigness of the last setup, which is number 5, which is the brass section. That was number 10 in the rhythm preset.
Oh,
Joanie,
Yes.
after the introduction, you went to society, rhythm
No,
style.
What do you mean after the introduction?
Well, when you finish the intro.
Yes, yes, I
to-
know what you mean now. Yes, so when I went back to the beginning of the song. That's where I started with society, that is the rhythm style.
Okay, but okay, then the intro itself, does that have a style setup?
I don't
Or style?
understand the question.
The no rhythm section.
Yeah,
I'm set up
To
on
start it.
society, and my sound is actually a society piano, which is rhythm preset number 2. But remember, I had to turn my Orc Plus back on because it turns off on 1 and 2.
She's talking about when you start with no rhythm.
yeah,
very
with the
beginning.
the
Very
at
beginning.
the very beginning, the
There's
the
no
intro-
there's no
it's-
rhythm on in the very beginning. It's just a easy memory, MCS, and bass. And
okay.
and I use the lush category for choir.
Okay, that's what I wanted.
Now
Yeah,
we go back to the beginning and come in with the society music style.
Yes, I heard the choir, but I didn't know what that came under. And you said lush.
Yes,
I didn't know how to ask the question, I
it's
guess.
the category preset or category setup, depending on your instrument. And that category is called lush, and it's number 7 on lush. It's a lush choir. Now, if
Okay,
you don't
thank
have a
you.
lush choir, you can create a different vocals and choir sounds and things you can create in a different way if you need to, which is fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Anything else?
At Joanie, at the very end, did ECMG again, like you did before?
Did I who?
At the very end, you
Uh-huh.
C, M, and G like you did before?
No, because I
No.
added the right hand notes instead. Oops, 5. So I just left it on a G chord at the very end.
Okay.
Good question. Good question. Anything else? Okay, let's change gears a little bit here and check into Moon River. How we doing with that?
That was a work.
That was a work.
Yeah, trying to get the presets the way I wanted them. That took a lot of time.
Yeah, well, that's good. That means you were making very specific choices. That's wonderful. It's a way cool song, I'll tell you that. Anybody want to play?
I'll give it a go.
Okay. Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Very nice.
Beautiful, beautiful.
On your first, until you applied the rhythm, so you must have used 3 setups before the rhythm came on.
That's right.
On all 3 of those, did you never add a bass? I couldn't hear bass in it.
I think I did. Let me see.
How is the sound quality for you on
No, I
that,
didn't.
Joni?
For me, is that question for me, Doug?
Yeah, I just wondered how the sound quality was to you. I had,
Whenever Gary starts, the beginning of what he starts playing, the sound quality is rough.
yeah.
And then it clicks in. I don't know what that is. That
Oh,
does
really?
that.
Okay. All
And then
right.
usually, typically, when he applies the rhythm or whatever, then it all evens out
Right.
and
Right.
it seems like it's fine then, but it's always a little bit light when he
Yeah.
first starts.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I
How's
think
mine?
I think it must be something to the translation of Zoom and recording, and
Mhm.
How's
because
mine?
your sound today was much better than it was last week. There still was a little bit of scratchiness, but it was much better than last week's.
Yeah, there's I can still hear a little bit of a hiss, but it's very light
Yep.
compared to the other instruments. So I'm gonna stay with the sound coming out of this other one instead. Good job, Gary. Very nice. Very nice.
One of the big challenges I had with that, with not playing the rhythm and recording it, was because the metronome was ticking away because you weren't playing a rhythm. I
Mhm.
wanted to play slower than what the metronome was ticking away at, and it was hard to do it.
Yes.
Why
Because it's
didn't
not because it's not
Why didn't you turn off the metronome?
well, the metronome indicates that you're actually recording.
You don't have to hear it once you get started.
But how do you, if you want to hear it to make sure that the recording is going to take place, how do you then turn it off before you start playing?
In the window.
Okay.
You can make it so it doesn't tick.
I know you can make it so it doesn't tick, but I didn't know once you press record that you could then turn it off.
I don't know about that. You may have to turn it off ahead of time, but you can see the flashes of the recording when it's going. And when I first start to record, I give it a few seconds before I come in to make sure that it's, going and recording. So
I've had
you
cases,
don't have to hear that metronome.
but I've had cases where I've pressed record and the lights are flashing and I never heard the ticking of the metronome and it didn't
Uh-huh.
record.
Huh.
It seems like unless I hear the metronome and see the flashes, then I know it's going to record.
I don't know. I'll have to fool around with that and see what I can tell you, Gary, because I can't stand the metronome clicking.
Yeah, it
So
drives me crazy when I'm not.
I always want it to go away. It's very distracting to me when I'm playing.
It is when you're not using a style and it's ticking
Yes.
faster away than what I'm trying to do. Because I tried to play slow and I still went too fast in some spots.
I thought you had a good tempo going there, actually.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I have it, Joanie.
Okay, is this Levon?
Yes.
Oh, I'm learning everyone's voices. That's great. Nice. Nice job.
Thank you.
Liked your sound choices, heard the bell tree, I heard the cymbal roll. Very good, very good, really nice. And the same thing is true with you as well as Gary. When you first start to play your recording, the audio is light. I would have to agree with Gary that it must have something to do with clicking into Zoom. I don't know what it is. Because then it levels out and it's fine. But when the first couple notes are measures, you're going, wait, I can hardly hear that. You can hear it, but it's not as clear. And then after that, it's fine. Very nice. Very nice choices, Levon. Very nice.
Very.
I think Zoom is trying to figure out what the levels or the sound should be during those first few beats.
Could be.
And then it goes.
Could be. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun for me. I think that was more of a headache for you, but but I thought those of you who really, you would enjoy it, and it's a great tune that, you know, you can play for anyone because it's nice and it's not fast and all. And then the Glory of Love is a good one to have in your repertoire too, because it's perky. It gets somebody tapping their foot and having some fun. So we'll go on to that. Keep in mind, remember one more time, there is no Zoom next Tuesday. We will pick up, so you get 2 weeks on, 2 more weeks for Moon River and 2 weeks for Glory of Love. So a week from Tuesday will be the next Zoom, not next Tuesday. So if you're friends with someone that was not on today, please take a moment to remind them. I will send an email out this week, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, because then I'll be gone Thursday and Friday. So
remember also, when you're choosing your songs for November, there's 5 Tuesdays.
Well, fiscally on the calendar there is. I don't know that means there's going to be 5 for us.
Oh, okay.
I always have to wait to see what corporate's doing.
Right.
So, yes, there may be 5. I mean, theoretically, there are 5, but whether I'm going to be able to use them all or not is a different question. But I'll be choosing that a week from Wednesday, and I'll send out another email then.
Good.
Okay?
All right.
All right. Well, please continue to pray for the missionaries in Haiti.
Yes.
It's very disturbing, obviously, and children involved. It's just terrible. So keep them in your prayers. I hope you have a blessed day and a wonderful day, and go have some fun making music. Okay?
And yay, our border is opening. You're letting us in starting November 8th.
Yay.
I heard that. I was very happy about that. Yes.
There's probably going to be a mad rush of lineup of cars for the
There
first
you
couple
go.
of weeks.
Very, very good. Well, have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks, okay?
Thanks,
Thank
Joanie.
you.
Hey,
Bye.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.